A new report shows that the gender death gap is rising, with men dying an average of 6 years before women, which is,
Whitney, very young, kind of gawky, still on the way to finding herself, a far cry from the glam Houston we know today.
I've never done a duet with anyone before.
When we talk about simping, if you are Gen X and older, we have good reason as to why we had simp in us. The love songs were so incredibly powerful that you'd have to be a Superman type to not believe in love at least a little bit and not simp for it. Everybody had a crush on Whitney Houston. I mean, everybody did. When she sang I Want to Dance with Somebody, the song was joyous, but it was also a song that would make you feel like, imagine all the girls at the party thinking this. They just want to find that special person at the party, at the club to dance with that they're going to fall in love with. I need to get dressed up, put on my perfume, cologne, and go to the club tonight and try and get one of them.
Ain't nobody trying to buy one of these, Gina. Oh.
As a man, I don't think it's possible, however masculine a man you are, to listen to Whitney Houston sing How Will I Know and not feel a tingle in your spine. We all know the chorus. How will I know if he really loves me? I say a prayer with every heartbeat. I fall in love whenever we meet. And she ends with, falling in love is so bittersweet. This love is strong, why do I feel weak? But there's one particular part in the song where she sings, oh, wake me, I'm shaking. Wish I had you near me now. Said there's no mistaking what I feel is really love. Imagine a young lady thinking that, singing it to you or writing it in a love letter to you, or even just saying that she's listening to this song thinking of you. Of course we simped when we heard Whitty Huton.
Yeah, Whitty Huton, Gina. Bruh, man can't spell.
A new report shows that the gender death gap is rising, with men dying an average of 6 years before women, which is,
I can remember a time when Saturday Night Live was appointment television. When you heard that Whitney Houston was going to be on Saturday Night Live, you had to watch. And to see a show go from family television, even for black families, because remember, Eddie Murphy went to the show and lit the show up, and we had to watch it every week, to a show where young women are cheering because men are dying 7 years earlier on average than men, is a testament to how much the atmosphere has changed and why guys simply don't want to simp anymore, or at least not the way we simped for someone worthy of being simped for in Whitney Houston and the power of her music.
I do think like men should pay on the first date. Okay. I think the woman has done enough, you know, she got ready, she like fought through life, she's sitting in front of you, just like pay for the first date.
You know, I'll never forget the time where somebody said that black men emotionally have become the white women of the black community, and that they have the emotional maturity of white women when it comes to criticism and taking accountability. I don't know about y'all, but that in itself just liberated the hell out of something in me.
There are too many men in this world. There are too many useless, pathetic, and miserable men in this world, and it's making the planet dangerous and unsafe to live in. 44 million of you more, to be exact. We don't need this. You're the reason why women are child-free. Actually, the main reason I'm child-free is because I do not want to risk getting a boy child.
Jermaine was the big star in 1984 with 9 solo records already to his credit.
It's really good. I mean, she did a great job for it. First time in the studio.
He saw a tape of me, a Merv Griffin tape, and he asked if he could sing with me.
But here's a shocker. The song, Don't Look Any Further, didn't make the cut on Jermaine's album. Instead, the duet with Whitney was a tune called Take Good Care of My Heart.
It's hard to imagine a time when Jermaine Jackson was a bigger star than Whitney Houston, but for about 3 or 4 seconds he was. When they sang Take Good Care of My Heart together, he was the man, and she was just starting out in the music business. But her reply to that song when she went to the recording studio as a solo artist was a song that was pretty clearly about a guy that looked very much like the guy at that time. And she was saving all of her love for him.
So I'm saving.
Do you have any kids?
I do.
How many?
3.
By how many men?
By one.
You ever been married?
Yes.
When did you get divorced?
Because I want it to be fast.
Are
you asked me questions. You want me to stop. You don't want me to tell you no lie, right?
So you divorced your husband because you wanted to be out here in these streets?
I did. Yep.
Well, how did that street life work for you?
It did not. That's why I'm single.
So did you have an affair with your husband?
I did not. I wanted to.
So you got a divorce because you wanted to have sex with other men?
One particular man.
Okay, so when you got the divorce, did you and that man have sex?
I did.
And what happened after that?
It was horrible.
How long was you married for?
19 years.
So you divorced your husband of 19 years all because you wanted to have sex with another man?
Yeah.
So now with all that being said, what kind of man are you looking for?
I'm looking for a white man. White man.
Are you being a comedian?
No, I'm being for real.
Okay, why do you want a white man? Why do you want a white man now?
Because I think they're a little bit more in tune with a sensitive atmosphere.
So no black men, just white men only.
White men only.
What are your deal breakers?
Black men.
Why don't you want to date black men ever again?
I don't, because it's just too much. Baby mama drama. Give me some more, T.
Strangely enough, the song Saving All My Love for You is a song from a mistress to a married man. She sings to him, "No other woman is gonna love you more, cause tonight is the night I'm feeling alright. We'll be making love the whole night through. I'm saving all my love for you." Now, my question is, in this particular situation with this young lady who left her husband of 19 years, do you think, one, she was able to sing that song to the guy or her husband? And two, do you think the guy had to do anything remotely romantic to get her to leave her marriage and go be fast? That's part of the reason why young guys aren't romantic. But there's another reason that's probably equally or maybe even more so important.
You remember how we were pointing out how the red pill guys love saying stuff like, "Oh, your body count is high. If as soon as a man touches you, you're dirty." And it's like, okay, so what does that say about the man?
Exactly. What are you saying about men?
And these men are saying that about each other. And Public pointed that out. He's like, they're saying the same thing. They're saying, oh, a man touched you, he's dirty. Y'all all think each other is dirty.
I'm sorry, Sovereign Woman. As hard as you tried, that's a swing and a miss. Simply put, guys that grew up with healthy family dynamics simply want a woman who have a body count as close to zero as possible because some of those guys that she may have dated wanted to marry her. And other guys may have just simply taken her to a bathroom stall at 2:30 in the morning in a hot club. The lower that number is, the more likely that the club excitement stuff didn't happen to the woman that you're going to try and build your future with. But the other part is, what kind of homes are these young men growing up in?
I've seen this trend of women expressing that they're no longer interested in dating as a result of their previous relationship, the last man that they were with. And it's funny, for me, it's my son. And I feel like we need to open the door on this conversation so that we can acknowledge that it's not just men romantically, but it's men generally. And it's deeply connected to how men are socialized. But for me, my son was the one draining my life force. And it's so funny because we went no contact unintentionally, believe it or not, but we went no contact for about 2 years. And during that 2 years, this is what I look like.
To me and people of my generation, it's almost unimaginable that a woman is essentially saying that she's decentering her son. She is going no contact with her son because he is making her look older, he's stressing her out, etc., which is essentially her saying, I can't love this man, this young boy that is the fruit of my womb. And that is something that is a step so far away from the Whitney Houston level of displays of affection from a woman to a man that I can understand young guys simply not wanting to go out. Because if this is where you're starting from, if your reference of love is your mother not talking to you for 2 years, I can pretty much understand why guys are simply saying, I don't want to take young ladies on more than coffee dates. I don't want to go to these mixers. I'm just going to play video games. Because if you're going to spend 20, 30, 40, 50 years with this person in your life, if you have kids together, it's not something you're looking forward to.
And then we reconnected, and he came and he moved back into my house. This was after he was 21. He came back to my house, and he came back with his partner and their child. And by the time I made a decision to go no contact with him again, and hopefully for the final time, this is what I look like.
From my point of view, and I guess I could say it's a privileged one after seeing this video, I've always assumed that motherly love was unconditional. But what we're starting to see now with these kinds of videos popping up is that there are men growing up with a kind of conditional love relationship with their mother, if you want to even call this love. This is a woman who essentially is going to the internet appealing for validation, for decentering her son, for not talking to her son for long periods of time. And for that boy, that man, how does he see love? And in this environment where now you can see more and more young ladies that are essentially saying, I'm going to delay marriage until I can find a person I can tolerate. And that there's really no love at all in any of this. Am I the only girl in her 20s who doesn't want to get married in her 20s, have kids? I want my 20s to myself and wake up married on my 30th birthday. There's nothing in this that suggests anything that's romantic. It's just, I want a husband to show up and provide and give me what I want when it's time for me to have him, when it's time for him to show up. And by the way, he can't be toxic. And if I'm bored or if I want to do something exciting, I just ditch him to the side and he's just going to show up. But what guys are starting to see is that, well, Whitney Houston saying, I'm saving all my love for you, but what it's looking like is that these young ladies are saving all their hate for a man to extract resources from, get their family, and then walk away with cash and prizes. With these kinds of things being the case, it's no wonder why guys aren't going to mixers, aren't looking to walk up to young ladies on dates. There's nothing romantic about what you're seeing. And for young guys in this environment, I want to apologize to them. I'm sorry. Because feeling that tingle of Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey and varieties of other singers sing a song that you imagine your girlfriend might sing to you if she could sing that well, that's gone. And so if that's not there, then of course guys are going to say, if you're saving all your hate for me, I'll save you the trouble and not even bother talking to you in the first place. It's sad times, but it looks like that's where we are. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. I'll catch you next video. Take care, guys.